Good evening, I'm Colm Colgan. You're watching the Business Enterprise Show, on Ireland's only live web-based business TV programme. As always, we're coming to you live from our state-of-the-art studios in the Cavan Crystal Hotel here in Cavan. And we have over 2 million views in over 200 countries. One, I suppose, of the many types of business that you have and businesses that focus in on a particular area is weight loss, because it's an issue that a lot of people have. My guest tonight has a unique weight loss program. I'm tripping myself up there. She has a unique weight loss program because of the fact it's been delivered online. Vera Baker of veras5.com, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Colin. Very good to be here.
We'll find out about veras5.com in a few minutes, but tell us a little about Vera Baker herself.
Vera Baker herself. Well, I had struggled with my weight for many years. I actually went on my first diet when I was 13 years of age. And looking back with an adult's point of view, I really wasn't particularly overweight at 13, but I did have incredibly skinny friends.
Isn't that a big problem?
Yeah, really was.
What's the slimmer's prayer? God, please make me slimmer, or give me fatter friends.
My friends were thin. So I started dieting, as I said, at age 13, and then I spent the next 17 years struggling and battling. And that's what it was, because I dieted, I lost, I came off the diet, and I gained more. So it was just a constant roller coaster. It was up and down, up and down. Little did I know the amount of damage that I was doing to my body, following fad diets and, cutting out food groups and going on really low calorie diets. I literally tried everything that came to the market, and at that time there wasn't the knowledge that we have now, so we didn't realize how much damage those low calorie diets were actually doing. So 17 years I battled.
Well, you're saying you were yo-yoing your weight. I suppose the most famous yo-yoer was Oprah. So you shouldn't be kind of saying, well, when I was 13 I was doing it all wrong. Mm-hmm. Look at all the money and all the intelligence she had. And yes, you didn't know what you were getting every season.
Absolutely, yeah. Didn't know.
So I said, well, because having 3 girls myself, diets are kind of an everyday fad. None of them decided, right, after this diet, I'm going to become a guru of weight loss. What drove you into that direction?
Well, I don't think I ever decided that either. But what happened was eventually I found something that worked for me. And I lost 3 stone on the weight loss program. And I went on then to work with a weight loss organisation for 15 years. And during the 15 years, I helped a lot of people to successfully lose weight. And during that time as well, after 17 years of battling and being up and down, I found it relatively easy to maintain. So I knew not just how to lose weight, but also how to keep it off. So I think that's really what spurred me to leave the weight loss organisation and set up my own program, because I wanted to teach people not just how to lose weight, but how to permanently lose fat. And the emphasis with my program is losing fat, because on all of those diets that I followed, I lost weight, which meant I was losing some body fat, but also water weight and muscle weight. So with my program, the emphasis is on fat loss, so rather than this rapid weight loss where you're losing muscle and water as well.
And again, I suppose what's unique about your program, like I said, there's lots of programs, there's Weight Watchers, there's actually Slimmer's World, which takes place in this here hotel on a Tuesday night. There's lots of them, and their ethos is all the girls, and 99% of the people who come to the groups are girls. And they come to their meetings, they talk to get weight, or they discuss, or they go through their problems, and then they come back the following week. It's a group. Now, I don't know whether they get solace from kind of talking about everybody else's, but yours is a little unique. Apart from your one-to-one sessions, which we'll come back to, but you've also developed it that it goes out on the net.
Absolutely, yes. So what I've developed is a 24-week online program. So when somebody signs up to my program, they become a member, so they have access to the members area on my website. And then each week, the weekly program material is delivered to them in the members area. So what they get from me on a weekly basis, they get a video message from me, and they also get an ebook. So every week it's a different ebook, so that contains, you know, all of the information that they need to make the changes that are going to guaranteed and permanent fat loss. And then they also have a log, so they record everything they're doing throughout the week, so they can forward that to me and I can, you know, suggest changes or whatever. And a weekly review as well, because I think it's really important to look back on your week. What did you do? What did you not do? What could you change? What could you do better next week? So apart from that, then midweek, they also get a short email and video message from me as well. And I think that's the importance of keeping the support going. Like, it's not just once a week, you know, there's contact from me twice a week, more often if people need it, but they'll definitely have that twice a week contact from me.
Well, because I was going to say, is there not danger if people are doing it from the web, that they kind of, because people do tend to fool themselves. I'll tell you what, I have joined up with Vera Baker's Vera5.com. I'm going to be wonderful, and then they kind of don't follow it through because there's nobody kind of checking up, and if you're kind of checking up on the website, you know, and again, because I know people who have kind of huge weight issues, and they kind of fool themselves. They fill into what did you eat today? I ate twice. I had a breakfast and then I had some skimmed chicken or whatever for lunch. You know, no, I saw your car outside McDonald's. You know, well, I may have stopped in. You know, people do fool themselves. So what checks and balances that you have now? We were chatting earlier about the weekly meetings. Some of them weigh you, and they weigh you in front of people. And when you lose the pound, you get the well done. But I'm sure when you put on 3 or 4 pounds, people are kind of going. But that in itself is nearly it. Well, I'll make sure even if it's you starve yourself the day before the meeting, you have some people who will be checking up on you. But online, it's a little more. You have to be more driven, more focused, and more committed yourself.
You do, and you know there is a lot of personal responsibility, but the message that I'm giving people is very encouraging, it's very motivating. It's not just focusing on weight alone. So Vera's 5, you know, it's fat loss, fitness, strength, well-being and happiness.
So I'm covering. You went through that 5 as quick as Enda Kenny went through his 5 points. We've never heard them again.
Fat loss, fitness, strength, and we talk about strength of body and strength of mind, well-being, and happiness, the important one. So
I would have put happiness.
I know, but it rhymes better.
Of course, yeah.
So, so it's
you marketing people.
So it's taken an approach to the full lifestyle. So my belief is, and my experience on coaching people and my own personal experience is that in order to permanently change one area of our lives, we must look at all areas of life. So people come to me because they want to change their body shape, their appearance, their clothes size, but we've got to look at those areas too, because if they want permanent results in their body shape, if they want to lose fat permanently, they've got to make all sorts of other changes too. So that's where my motivation, my experience, the information that I give them really comes in.
So where do you start? I've looked at myself in the mirror this morning and says, look, you're only 21, look how bad you look, you know, you better do something about it. So I contact Vera Baker. What's the next step? Okay,
so you have 2 choices because you live locally. So we can do one-on-one personal coaching, or you can sign up to my online 24-week program. So that'll be your personal choice. Obviously, you know, the personal coaching is limited to the amount of people that I can see in a week, and then also to locality. But the beauty of the online coaching is, you know, I have clients from any English-speaking country. You know, there's no limits there. So fantastic for that, And
I think Cavan is an English speaking area.
I think so.
I'm covered that. So I've decided to go, what have I decided to go? No, I think I'll go for the personal coaching. I'd rather look at you in person than over video screen. So I've arrived at your door, you look at me and say, Jesus Christ, there's nothing I can do for you. And then what do we do?
Okay, so, well, initially, before we do anything, we would meet and we would have a little chat, and I would explain to you.
We could
have a coffee, I'm sure.
Sticky bun.
But so at that stage, I would just explain to you what I'm all about, and that'll give you a chance to think: is this something that I want to do? Do we have a connection, because that's important as well, because even with the weight loss organisations, the group meetings that you're talking about, there always has to be a connection there between
you have to want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the same when I'm doing the personal coaching, so there's a connection there, and if you then decide, I'm happy with this, we'll discuss the transaction of it all, and if you're happy to go ahead, we'll then arrange our first meeting. So at the first meeting, the painful bit is stepping on the scales. So the scales that I use, it doesn't just measure your weight, it also gives your percentage of body fat, because again, that's so important, that it's not you're just losing weight, and if you're cutting calories and not exercising, you're going to lose muscle weight. So I would encourage you to exercise as well. So it's actually the fat loss percentage that you're seeing coming down each week.
Okay, so we weighed, and you've kind of shocked at how could anyone weigh that much.
I'm never shocked.
Don't want to say about that. And then what's the next step?
Okay, so then I go through with you.
I'm 2, 3, 4 stone overweight.
Okay.
And then I tell you my history, that I've been on diet since I was knee high to a grasshopper. I've tried them all. None of them worked, which is a euphemism for saying I didn't stick to any of them.
So I go through the week 1 program, get you started off. Go through the food plan with you. Now, I don't do menus per se for people, because I think if somebody is handed a menu plan, if I hand you a menu plan, 7 days, breakfast porridge, lunch salads, fish and whatever in the evening time. If it's a very rigid menu plan like that, and let's say you're sticking to it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday you get invited out for dinner, and you're there looking, I can't stick to the plan now because I'm going out to dinner. What am I going to do? Oh, well, I'll forget about it for tonight. And then you get up Friday, sure, it's Friday. I didn't follow it yesterday. I'll start again on Monday. So it doesn't work in the long term. So what I do give you is a huge variety of foods to choose from, a huge variety of foods. So that no matter what the situation, what the circumstance, whether you're out, in a restaurant, getting a takeaway, up in your brother's for dinner, whatever it is, there's loads of choice. You can still stick to your plan.
Did I hear you saying getting a takeaway?
Yeah, absolutely.
What can I get in a takeaway?
What do you normally get in a takeaway?
But you can have your usual burgers, you can have your get a butter sausage. Can't take the food out of me. But you're allowed.
Within reason. Yeah, within reason.
A lot of that couldn't go there 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
But if Friday night was chipper night, that's still acceptable, is it?
It depends on what you want for yourself as well. So I'll always say to people, if you every Friday night have chipper, it's going to slow down your progress. If you want to see quicker results, maybe every second Friday. Maybe if you want even better results faster, once a month.
Suddenly the chippers, I was told that 2 minutes ago the chipper was okay.
Well, I said takeaway. Just some takeaways are better than others. So if you're going for like Asian food, Thai food, you can make some really good choices.
Well, in Bellevue, there's a chipper next door to us, the noodle bar. I've never been in the noodle bar. Yeah. It's also chipper. I'm sorry.
Give the noodle bar a shot.
Give the noodle bar a shot. So what is it? What's the important aspect when it comes to eating? Is it what you eat? Is it the amount you eat? Is it when you eat? Or probably a combination.
It is a combination. Definitely what you eat is really, really important.
What should we be avoiding? You say we can have nearly everything. What's the big no-nos?
Really one ingredient foods, fresh food that your granny would have eaten. That's what we're looking for. So try as much as possible to avoid food that has a lot of ingredients, a lot of packaging, a lot of chemicals, preservatives, all of that. So try and avoid that as much as possible. So, any sort of vegetables, any sort of meats, any sort of fish, any of your fresh produce is good.
So a fresh Big Mac.
A fresh Big Mac, there's a lot goes into a Big Mac. When it comes down to, people are terrified of carbohydrates now, there's big taboo about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are fine, but again, it's down to your choice of carbohydrates, and it's also the amount that you're eating. You know, and generally as a nation we eat too many carbohydrates. We don't need as many as we're eating. So it's a case of cutting back a bit, making sure that they're always high fibre. So if you're having a cereal in the morning, make sure it's a high fibre cereal. Back to what Granny was eating, porridge. Couldn't eat anything better in the morning. No, so it's...
The only thing is my granny made an awful porridge.
Okay, well, porridge has improved a lot.
Yeah,
it's improved a lot over the years, you know, it certainly has.
So you give people kind of a big range of healthy food, and effectively say, look, be sensible, take what you like out of that, eat in moderation, and one thing we were chatting about earlier was eat off, so don't have one big meal during the day.
Yeah, so again, Vera's 5, it's eat 5 times a day, exercise 5 times a week. So the eating 5 times a day, you know, it's smaller amounts more often. And all the research that I've done, all the courses that I've done as well, nutrition courses, you know, they all have come up with the same conclusions, and that is that people who eat more often throughout the day consume less calories in the day. So if you're eating 5 times a day, you're going to consume less calories than someone who's eating twice a day. Because the person who's eating twice a day, first of all, is absolutely starving, so they're packing it all in. But also, it's just that mental attitude of, oh, I skipped breakfast, I had a tiny lunch, so I have to eat loads in the evening time. Now, another important point is when we're eating throughout the day, and you know, our habit as well is to maybe skip breakfast or have a tiny breakfast, eat a small lunch, drink coffee all day in order to try and keep our energy levels up, go home in the evening, have a big meal, big meal, you know, at 6 or 7 in the evening, sit on the sofa and graze. We don't need all those calories late in the evening. When you think about it logically, what we eat in the morning at breakfast time, and breakfast can be anything, you know, within an hour and a half of getting up. It's not that you get out of bed and eat immediately. So within an hour and a half of getting up, what you eat then, you're going to have the opportunity throughout the day to burn those calories just through your natural, without hitting the gym or going for a run or whatever, just through natural daily activities. There's the opportunity there to burn those calories. But those calories we're consuming last thing at night, you know, unless we have a very active resting metabolic rate, we may not burn those up. So it makes more sense, and what my clients are doing now is eating a bigger breakfast, a mid-morning snack, a large lunch, a mid-afternoon snack, and then a very light, small evening meal.
And finishing at, when would be the last time you should be eating? Again,
it's more down to the choices that you're making. So there's no necessary cut-off time. You don't want to eat and get straight into bed, obviously, you know, so definitely at least a couple of hours before bedtime.
So I suppose that's the diet out of the way. The next one was exercise.
Can I just mention portions?
You certainly
before we move off to food, because portions are so important. And again, you know, there's this habit of putting loads of food on our plate and eat it all up, and isn't it great?
Isn't that what we were told to do when we were growing up? Eat everything you have.
And again, like a lot of my
bigger plates.
A lot of my clients are parents, you know, and what I'm saying to them is, tell your children it's okay. You don't have to finish everything on your plate. Children know when they've had enough. You know, it's parents saying you have to eat it all. You have to finish it.
Tell them to buy a dog.
And
they can throw bits to him, you know.
That's it, yeah, absolutely.
But you'll find that they'll eat the sausages and the burgers and they'll throw the dog to vegetables. They have a very healthy dog, but your kids will be overweight.
And then the other point of portions is one size does not fit all, and we should be eating the portion to suit our body size. So, you know, a taller gentleman should have a larger portion than a shorter woman, and then a child should have a smaller portion again. So, you know, a family sitting down and everyone having the same portion, that doesn't work either.
Which is it's kind of the standard way things are done, I suppose. Obviously not when you're very small kids, but I suppose when kids become early teenagers, it's all plates are the same.
That's it. And you know, if we even just get that bit right, the portions, and if we never overeat, that makes a huge difference to, you know, not gaining fat if you don't overeat. So just getting that one thing alone, that means you don't have to give anything up. You don't have to cut out the stuff you like. Once you're not overeating on it, it's going to make a huge difference.
So summarise the eating. eat less, smaller portions, more often. Still eat what you like.
More or less, within reason.
We all know what's very bad.
We know what's reason.
At that, if it's a family affair, don't be. I can't really have. I know we're all going for steak dinner, but I'm on Vera's diet, and if she finds out.
Oh, steak is good.
Of course, steak is good, but we also go with a French fried onion, usually chipped. That's the bit that kind of gets it. But don't be such a stickler. That kind of,
choose wisely and prioritise. What do I want more?
Yeah. So that's food out of the way. Now the exercise. Okay. How often should we be exercising? What should we be doing?
Everybody should be exercising at least 5 times a week. But even if that is just 5 walks, 5 half-hour walks a week, that's fantastic. So when it comes to exercising, and particularly starting off, you have to start where you're at now, what your fitness level allows you to do now. So the worst thing you can do is go out on day 1 and push yourself to do something you're not ready for, then you're aching for 3 days and you can't move, and so take it from where you're at now. Do what you're able to do now, and your fitness will improve. So you start and you keep going, and because you started and because you kept going, you will improve, you will get better, and you will be capable of more. And when you are capable of more, that's when you have to do more.
And you don't need gyms, you don't need a track at home, you just need not even a pair of runners. If you have a pair of comfortable shoes and walk down the end of the lane, back up here for starters, and you can take it from there. And again, whatever you're capable of, if at the moment all your fitness allows you to do is walk for 2 minutes that way and 2 minutes back, that's better than 4 minutes on the couch. So you just do whatever you can, but you will, because you start, it will improve, it will increase. I'm trying to remember Vera's 5, so I think the next one is fat.
Fat loss was our first one,
fast fitness.
Can I just say with the fitness as well, what's really, really important that is finding something that you enjoy doing. So as your fitness improves, so if you start with the walking and then your fitness improves, find something you really, really enjoy doing, because when your fitness becomes your passion, it's no longer drudgery, it's no longer, oh God, I have to go and do it. It's like, oh, brilliant, I'm climbing a mountain today, or I'm going for a swim today, or, some people love the gym, whatever, but it could be dancing. It doesn't matter what it is once you're moving. So find what you love doing, it becomes your passion then, and it's just part of your life, part of your daily routine. That's when it's easy.
And what's the 4th Vera's 5?
Fat loss, fitness. Strength is really important as well.
What's the difference between strength and fitness?
Strength can be both bodily strength and strength of mind. So again, oftentimes when people start with me, because they've had years of struggling with their weight, and they've had years of feeling unsuccessful and feeling guilty and disappointed in themselves because of their failure on these different diets, really knocks people's confidence, and they lose that emotional strength, and it makes it difficult for them to deal with all sorts of other situations, and I've had situations with people who were nervous about doing things that the rest of us would take for granted, really very simple daily things. But because they take control of what they're eating and they begin to exercise, so they're taking control of that one area, it gives them the strength to take control of other areas of their life.
So when you say you build up a strengthness in both body and mind, are they just natural progressions?
Absolutely.
Or do you deal with people's mental weaknesses as well? Or is it the fact that, well, look, by getting into a routine, by taking control of your fitness, taking control of what you eat, by extension, you will then take control of the rest of your life?
Yeah, it is both. It's a natural progression for people, but also, with individuals, there'd be certain things that we would discuss and work on together, and I would advise on that as well. So
happiness.
It's both.
I like that one. Very important. I'd say, apart from your people say, your marketing people say that doesn't rhyme if it's first. Happiness is most important.
It absolutely is most important, and sometimes the most important comes last. That's okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is the most important thing. It really
and again, does that come from taking control of your weight, taking control of your fitness, taking control of your eating, and then you realise, I'm actually in control of these things. What I suppose to give yourself the fact that, well, what else can stop me now?
And it is also taking control of your own happiness. You know, we can depend on others for happiness. We'll never get it from anybody else. We have to take control of it ourselves. So it's understanding what really makes us happy, and you know what we can do for ourselves. You know, that's so very important.
So all this is to be found on the website, Vera's 5. I must say I haven't watched the website. I looked at the website, very well put together. I love your story that's on it.
Thank you.
Because anyone looking at you said, God, I wish I was like her, you know. But I could never be. You took the brave step of putting yourself in various stages on your website, and people can remember themselves in their school uniform and say, God, I look like that. Oh, I remember when I was a young mom, I was like that. And then you read, I struggle with that too, but God, look as you became. So you kind of come across as the normal person that we all are, and that, look, no, like, because you see some websites and you too can look like me, and you never saw what they look like, but you know. But what I like about your website is the fact that it shows you, look, these are the stages that I take. Down the side, you have lots of little blog items as well, and there's one, the obvious one, you know. Sometimes you just get a bit of, when you feel, I can't do this, or I'm getting sore to do this. Sometimes it's just down to the fact that we're not as young as we used to be, which none of us are apparently. But the website is, that's how, because this is the Business and Enterprise Show, that's how Vera's 5 from a business point of view is going to be driven.
Yes.
So how do you attract traffic to it, for starters?
Well, that is my partnership company, And Media. So they do all of that. And Dan Media. So they look after all that end. They created my website for me and worked out all the ins and outs. I don't understand.
Well, I just heard the diggly bits.
They do explain it all to me in detail. I just not very smart. But there's a huge process that goes on behind the scenes. I know that for a fact.
And putting it together. But again, we all have wonderful websites, you know. But how are you getting traffic to it so that people say, wow.
Yeah, and we are, because I was looking at statistics yesterday.
I want to be part of that, but how do people find out about veras5.com?
Okay, so people who have no clue, it all comes down to search terms. So if somebody searches, you know, fat loss or weight loss or fitness or any of those search terms, and Vera's 5 will come up.
So it's the old click reviews and Google AdWords and that malarkey.
It's the Google AdWords, yeah.
But you and I are just kind of nodding. We have this vague idea what they are.
I know you probably have to have Dan Media on here to explain
it.
But I know they have their own program that they've developed themselves for local marketing. It's a brand new thing. I do have another business as well, a Crescent Montessori School, and they've also done my website for that.
You snuck that in at the end. You only a couple of minutes left to chat, you know.
So
what's the name of the Crescent Montessori?
It's called Tiernan. We're based in Dublin 15.
In Dublin 15. We're based in Dublin 15?
Mulhuddart.
Yes. Brings it all back to
we are there 1st of September. It'll be our 19th year anniversary. So
fantastic. On the corner, big wall around it?
No,
that's not yet.
But they are still there.
They are still there too as well. And I suppose the big question, somebody said, look, I want to do, it's an investment. What do people have to invest with you to lose the weight, to be part of your program?
So my program is, as I said, it's a 24-week program, so it's a 6-month program. And, you know, in terms of permanent success, you need that amount of time.
You do, I saw that 24 on the website. That's a good idea. There's no point in saying you lose 2 stone in a month. No. You know you're not going to. It is a long thing.
There's all sorts of diets you can follow to lose 2 stone in a month, but it's quite likely you'll gain it back again a month or 2 after that. So with the permanent fat loss, it's going to take time. 6 months, and you're going to change everything. So it's back to the fitness, the happiness.
So it's a 6-month process that you are signing up for.
Yeah, so it is $40 a month. Okay, now when you click on, it'll come up in euro, If someone from the UK comes on, it'll come up in sterling, so it converts it automatically for you. Mm-hmm.
And you say the fact that dollars, the fact that obviously it's available in the States. What are the countries that you're getting customers from?
Well, at the moment, the Andan Media have targeted the US, the UK, and Ireland. You know, as our first launch. So it's 6 weeks since we've launched. So they will expand from there to Australia, New Zealand, Canada, any English-speaking countries really, until I get a translator.
Absolutely, and I'm sure there's plenty of them about. So it's $40 a month, and what, paid credit card, PayPal, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way people are doing it. Mostly PayPal and that. Yeah.
God bless PayPal. And do you sign up for your 6 months?
Yeah.
And there's no backing out, or is it month by month?
Oh yeah, it's month by month, and you know, anything you sell online comes with a 60-day money back guarantee. That, you know, that's a given when you're buying online. So you're not going to be tied in. You know,
and okay, at the moment, you say your customer base is growing, but needless to say, when people find out the huge stuff that you do, and when you're tremendously successful. How will it be possible to keep track of, say you have 1,000 clients? Will there be software in the website that will allow you to keep track of everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Again, that's all down to...
It's all down to the technical end. Well, time has run away with us again, so you might tell us, talk to our camera there, tell any of our viewers how to contact you, and what's the best offer they can get from you?
Okay, so first of all, you can go to my website, which is veras5.com, and you can check out, as you were saying, my blog, see all the good information that's on there. And if you want to take it further, then you can email me at vera@veras5.com. And if you want to apply for personal coaching, again, email vera@veras5.com. And we can arrange a meeting and have a chat and take it from there.
And you get the opportunity to change your life, something I suppose we all want to do.
Absolutely.
Well, Vera Baker of veras5.com, thank you so much for your time. Very interesting business that you have, and very interesting ideas too. So that's about it for tonight from the Business and Enterprise Show. I've been Colm Colgan. Good night, and talk to you next week.